Hello YouTube, today I will be reviewing R.e.d series Transformers Prime Knockout. As you can see, he's out of his box and his back wheels attached to him. He's coming with few accessories, few weaponry and interchangeable hands, a few weapons that appear in show, his signature weapon as well. But first of all, let's take a look at the box itself. As you can see, this is the back of the box, and a product image is more detailed than the product itself in hand, but box design is pretty much exactly the same as the mainline box size and as well as design. It's got a great artwork here, and as you can see, his paint is chipping on him in this artwork, and this is one thing that Knockout hates the most. Well, let's take a look at the figure itself. As you can see, he's pretty much identical to CGI model. As you can see, he doesn't transform, and because of that, he's almost 99 percentage accurate, I guess. Well, let's take a look at his back. As you can see, he's got a smooth back. His shins, back of his feet, his shins. As you can see, his waist, as well as his chest area. He looks great, in my opinion. But for the most of materials on this figure, it's a rubbery material, very soft plastic, and almost the entire figure cast on this rubbery material. And this red and gray plastic is base color, base plastic on this figure, because lots of areas are not painted. As you can see, this red, this gray, kind of plain gray, just a cast out of rubbery material. But as you can see, he's got some paint on his face, as well as this chest area, the front of vehicle highlights as well. He got white lines here. His waist area got this creamy white, as well as on his arms. He got a gold paint. On his shins, he's got the same white and black, as well as on his feet, he's got that same black as well. As you can see, his doors are pretty much painted on purple, black and silver, and this part is my favorite because it looks pretty much awesome compared to the other parts on this figure, as well as his shoulder area. As you can see, inner shoulder is just painted in gold, the same gold that wheels painted in. Well, let's take a look at his back. I would like to see, paint on this area, back of his feet. As you can see, back is pretty much looking good, but it will look perfect if it had enough paint on it. So let's move on. Articulation. His head is on ball joint. He can lift his head up this far, down this far, side to side movement, not good range of pivot here. Well, I mentioned already, but this figure is just based on rubbery material. As you can see, his shoulders can bend in any position, but when you are taking a picture of it or making a shoot, the pose wouldn't hold on because it's made out of rubber material. So because of that, the plastic returns the same position, and this is kind of fun when you are playing with it, but if you are trying to get dynamic poses out of it and trying to shoot some pictures in this dynamic poses, it won't work out because in red line the figures are just basically rubber material, and as you can see there is almost no solidness to this figure at all. It's just feeling like marshmallow. Now when you are trying to even put that figure on shelf, it will fall down because of that rubber material all over the figure. There's almost zero balance on this figure because of the back of his feet. He can barely stand in some poses, but because of the design and nature of this feet, he can't really pose well. I saw some reviews on R.e.d RC, and that figure got that problem as well. Well, let's move on his articulation. His arms can move 360, a shoulder pads and the arms are separate piece. You can lift his arm up this far because of the design, and as you can see there's a joint here, articulation joint. Because of that the arm will lift up this far and will hold in this position. Well, he's got bicep rotation. I forgot to mention he's got inner kind of butterfly joint, but it's restricted by this rubbery shoulders. If you put this back, you can get that joint properly. Well, he's got bicep rotation, double joint here. It's a good range. Well, he's got his arms can rotate like that and also bend it on singular joint. Well, he's got ab crunch. It's barely moving, but you can see difference when you are holding in this position and that position. That wheels will fall down because it's separate piece when you are taking out of box. But when you are rotating back, it's a great range in my opinion. When you are looking at it from back, you can see difference in here. And wheels got articulation as well, just rotates and is pretty good. He's got waist rotation, his feet, and this is the same problem on entire figure. As you can see there's got a ball joint, and both this thigh piece and a ball joint are rubbery material, and because of that when you're trying to lift up the feet it will immediately return the same position at it used to be. Like when you can't even pose properly to back nor forward, but you can make a splits, I guess. No, as you can see you can split his leg and it actually holds in that same position. He's got thigh rotation, bend at knee 90 degrees, the same singular joint here, inverse joint on his both bicep, shoulder and knees. Well, the same joint on his feet can bend, but it will return the same position, and that's pretty cool. It's got moving feet inside his moving wheel inside his feet, and the wheel rims are painted in yellow, the same yellow on his back, and that's pretty cool. I guess they can do better job if they try their best, but they lack some details. Especially, I noticed some white plastic gets yellow in time, as well as this soft material, just rubber material, Just I know this for preventing children to get hurt, and as well as to keep figures safe, but that's not the issue here, in my opinion, because they could make a proper material for these figures, not only just soft material. Uh, the only area that's not soft material is this his feet, not feet, but foot, back of his foot. But these shins are the same material as the rest of the figure. Well, even the wheels are soft material. It doesn't squish, but you can feel the feeling of it. And I can say that this whole chest area is also plastic, hard plastic, especially the cover area, the red cover area on his back, as well as his shoulders and chest. Well, if they try, they could make great figures, especially they're making non-transformable figures. That means that these figures should have more articulation, more range of motion, more details, especially more expressions. As you can see, this figure comes with a same one head. I would like to see different expressions, different faces on upcoming figures as well. Well, enough of this talk because I can't complain that much because I got this figure for $47. These figures are usually 50 to 70. You know, I can't say this is cheap because it's pretty much uh, as expensive as leather class figures. In my country area, uh, mainline figures are much more expensive than the other figures. I don't get to see, usually I don't get to see any figures, any mainline figures in my local store. So I ordered online and this figure got a discount. So I decided to pick this up because I love Transformers Prime series and this was one of the latest releases of Red Line Transformers Prime series. Well, we also got RC and we got upcoming Optimus Prime and Megatron, but I decided to not get Optimus Prime, Megatron, nor RC because I already got this figure and I'm pretty much satisfied with figure itself. I know I am complaining about quality issues and as well as the other reviewers, other collectors and people who got this figure complaining about the same issues I did early, but I'm not disliking this figure. I can pretty much customize this figure with good paint and but I can't do anything about articulation or materials. I will just let this figure be like this because uh, I guess this will age better in rubber material. But if you are heating this up or if you are storing this on a shelf where the air is hot or maybe uh, I don't know, maybe you are trying to fix this figure with hair dryer. Be careful because as you can see, even this door section is rubber material. So if you heat this up not properly, then this figure will just burn out or just some areas will look funny. Now as you can see, this shoulder area, in my opinion, in my imagination, supposed to be high, but this figure is just bent up like this. I don't know, in this CGI model, in cartoon itself it looks like this or it's supposed to be up. I don't know, but in my opinion it's kind of annoying, this much in my opinion. Well, let's take a look at the accessories. First of all, his signature weapon. The in first episode he appeared, the season 1 and episode 10, he appeared with this kind of mace or stick that just use this weapon. his main weapon in series. He appeared with this, and the last time I saw this weapon on series was now season 3, episode 8. But yes, it looks great with this material, with this weapon, I guess. And as you can see, it's the same soft plastic that used on entire figure. Well, he's got a big driller. I don't know. I have ever seen this weapon before. It's kind of big, and I don't really remember seeing this weapon in series. I didn't see Knockout wielding this weapon, but you can spin it like this. It's kind of creates illusion as if it spins. Well, he's got his surgery weapon. I saw this on series, and with a good I think this is supposed to be like this. Yes. I can paint this on kind of gun gray metal because the entire figure is on plain gray and kind of looks funny because the accessories are just looking great, but it would be great if they had enough paint on them. Well, here's another weapon he used in series. It's actually got kind of red painting on it, and it's actually a good detail in my opinion. Well, he's got interchangeable hands. This was the hand he used wielding weapons. He's got a fist hand. Oh, kind of zooming it up. Yes. It's close hand and another hand for left arm. It's open hand and it looks great. I wish we had two pairs of this hand as well as this fist hands because this half opened hands are just pretty much identical to this. So I would like to see two pairs of this hand. Well, let's compare this figure to other figures, other rubbery figure I had. Let's just balance that first. It just tends to fall. Cooperate with me. Okay, he's not standing at all and kind of gets annoying. Well, here's Gundam Universe Banshee, and this figure as well is based on rubber material, but he's much more solid than this figure is. Now, as you can see, leg is kind of loose, but not as much as on this figure. Well, in my opinion, the quality on this figure is better than this because this as well is rubbery material. Now, when you bend it, you can feel it kind of moves the opposite side of the movement because of elastic force on this rubbery material. Well, but in my opinion, quality on this figure is better than this figure, but especially the price is concerned. If I remember correctly, this figure is around $30 to $40, $42. But this figure starts from $50 to $65. And for me, it's really surprising and kind of shocking. Even the paint on this figure is better than this one. I can't complain that much, especially comparing the release dates of these figures. If I remember correctly, this guy came out long ago, and considering the inflation on plastic prices and as well as the companies such as Hasbro and Bandai kind of getting greedy on their budget and kind of they're not putting their best. In my opinion, it would be great seeing a good quality figures in a close future, as great and good quality figures as this one, such as this one. you know I don't hate either of these figures, but as you can see, these are results. They could improve some of the figures they just released recently. Maybe considering complaints of fans, but this is what we got for $50, and I'm not I'm not angry, I'm not mad, I'm satisfied with this figure, even though it can't balance well, because this character is my favorite, and I'm glad to get more of Transformers Prime series figures, because these old gen figures are almost expensive. You can't get a decent figure for a decent price in this modern age. So I'm sticking out with these new releases that, even though they are not transforming, I'm just accepting the character and accuracy of this appearance. So let's another comparison. Here's CD series movie 86 Jazz. I'm comparing this figure to this knockout because legacy line, legacy series, in my opinion, mainline figures just highly modified this figure into kind of IDVW or G1ish knockout. So this is the base mold for legacy knockout, and here's the size difference between these figures. As you can see, he's kind of taller, quite bigger than deluxe class figure, and it's kind of relief because I just ordered my Dark Master from APC Toy Lines, and that figure is huge, and this figure will be a good fit for my upcoming order. So let's take this, his weapon. It's kind of loose, but he can wield this. I saw Legacy Line Knockout's weapon and it looked funny, but in my opinion, this Red series weapon is so much accurate than this. Well, as for the results, I would highly recommend for you to get this figure. I will not recommend getting Transformers Prime series, R.e.d series Transformers Prime Optimus Prime, because that figure looks funny. I I saw some leaked images of him and I was sure I would get that figure, but I changed my opinion after I seeing some reviews. But I saw reviews of this figure as well, and I saw lots of complaints about this figure. When this first gets released, I kind of got angry for this figure not being accurate paint wise, but here I am today and I got this figure, and I can say my worries were for nothing, because this figure is awesome in my opinion. You will get used to this rubbery material in time if you are a collector, or if you do love playing with figures, because it's kind of wobbly, it's kind of funny, it got not any balance. It's there's no solidness to it. You can't barely stand, as you can see. But it's kind of fun to pose it around, and if you force joints, They hardly break because of the material is rubbery. So I guess it's a good figure. It's a decent figure, but a price is too much for these figures. Especially they does not convert into vehicles. Uh, they are transformers, but they do not transform. So in my opinion, it's a good figure, but this will be the last red figure I will be ever getting if we are not getting any Transformers figures, at least. No, I would like to see Starscream, Bulkhead, maybe Breakdown from Red series. If they had same articulation and same quality as this figure, I would highly recommend getting this. But I saw Red Optimus Prime and Megatron, and as far as I saw, the quality was lacking, especially on the Megatron release. So I'm convinced to not get these figures. Well, these were my thoughts. This was my review on this figure. I hope you liked. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope my detailed expressions were kind of informative for reviewers, watchers. Well, thank you so much for watching it. I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you will continue supporting on this channel.